Hey guys, it's just me today. So welcome back to my channel, and you're watching episode 4 of the contest prep. I'm gonna fuck it up already, I can tell. Not another contest prep. What a mouthful. Seriously.
This is easiest. Not another contest prep.
You try saying that fast. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is episode 4 of the...
You got this.
Are you sure?
I think so.
This is episode 4 of Not Another Contest Prep series. Oh my god. Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and you are watching episode 4 of Not Another Contest Prep series. Yes. I got it. You guys have no idea how many times it took me to say that. So here we are, missing Lane this week. He is currently in Australia, and I'm so upset because I'm meant to be in Australia. I was meant to be visiting my family and friends, and immigration. I am so mad. I've just had to try and bite my tongue and not be angry about it. But anyway, contest prep. This past week has been interesting, as it always is. I feel like I probably should quit while I'm ahead, but I can't do that. Sadly, I'm not a quitter. And I have really set myself up for what's going to be a pretty rough coming 32 days. And I am counting now. We are down to 32 days, and I've got to lose... We've been anticipating that my stage weight's probably going to be around 59.5 kilos. That's if I'm to come in better than what I did at Worlds back in August. The only consideration that I have given thought to in the last week or two is that because I did start taking creatine monohydrate in the last 8 or so weeks of my prep, the subsequent increase in my weight may mean that I'm actually going to be a little bit heavier. Not because I am carrying more body fat, but because I will be carrying more fluid. So I have a little bit of a sigh of relief because I can see that I've gotten leaner, but my weight has not changed. So I'm quietly confident, but we will see. So anyway, looking at the math, I have to create about an 850 calorie deficit in order to get to 59.5 kilos by the 7th of December. That's going to be a really rough time. So right now, based on 4 weeks ago, my maintenance calories were probably sitting around 1900 or just over. So if you guys do that little bit of math, that means that my calories are going to have to come down this week to like 1250. So I'm really not excited about that. So my new targets are going to be, I'm going to take a little bit of a cut to my protein. So they were previously 155. If you've been following along, they're now going to come down to 150. So it's not a huge decrease, but it's helping to create a bit of a calorie deficit, but my protein target is still within the normal kind of acceptable range to help me maintain my muscle. And I'm bringing my carbs down to 100 and my fats down to 30. Yuck, that just sounds so awful, but that's what I will have to do. So we'll jump over and take a look at my, I guess, progress last week on my compliance, and I will kind of go through with you how I have been able to calculate this and what it means for me in the next 4 weeks. But essentially, I've got to have to drop 1 kilo a week, which is very aggressive. But that's based on those predictions of me being 59. So hopefully I don't have to get quite that low because of the creatine, but we shall see. So let's go and have a look at my adherence this past week. Alrighty guys, so we are looking at data from the 28th, which is last Monday, through to the present Monday. So my training has stayed pretty consistent with resistance work. So I've been hitting 6 weights training sessions a week, which is a increase of 1 day frequency. So my volume has gone up, and that volume has all been lower body. So one of the good things is I have really started to kind of get past that initial DOMS that I was experiencing from moving out of more of a powerlifting style training programming into hypertrophy work. So the first few weeks where I was doing like squats and deadlifts for high reps, it killed me. And then it started to get a little bit easier. So that's been one positive of training. I'm kind of getting it done, feeling the effects of the diet a little bit with my energy. I really have to try and prioritize getting my workouts done in the morning at the moment because my calories are low. So, you know, if I have to get to the gym anytime like after 3 o'clock, it's not going to be pleasant. I'm just really lethargic by that stage. And I do have a couple of days where I'm having to do double cardio and a resistance training session and cardio. So at the moment, my strategy has been get up first thing in the morning. I'll do my 40 minutes on the Stairmaster with my weight vest. And then I'll come home, have a coffee, kind of just relax. I'll have a meal, a small meal, and it's usually just a protein only meal and trace amounts of carbohydrate because I try to save those because I don't have very many for my post-workout meal and later in the day when I'm typically a little hungrier. So that's kind of been the strategy, and then I'll obviously head off to the gym straight after that first meal. So that is what's going down with my training at the minute. I've still been averaging around 70 to 75 minutes of just walking or planned walking. And then my stairs, the past week, you can see here on the screen, I was doing 110 minutes on the Stairmaster. So I'm actually saving my spin class for the final few weeks. Just because I know how much more difficult they are, and I didn't want to start those at week 1 and adapt to that type of training early because I know it just means that it's only going to get harder for me in the final weeks if I'm already really, really fit. So to get the same kind of calorie burn or a greater calorie burn, I have to do even more. So I've been saving that. I haven't done any cycle or spin classes since starting this diet, but I think probably not next week, but the one after, I'll start to add that in. I'm actually going to be traveling this week for the entire week, so I won't be able to do any spin. But let's have a look at my weight first and foremost. So I started the week in the 65s still, and then I actually woke up really heavy again on Tuesday morning, and I think this is kind of just a sticking point for me. And, you know, like, there are so many variables that have kind of pushed my weight up a little bit, I think, with regards to like getting my period back. That was an abnormality. I wasn't expecting that to happen at all. And then the creatine. So thankfully, my weight really did start to trend down this week, and it was really noticeable to me, like seeing the visual changes in the mirror as well. I finally could see my abs again and I can see a little bit more definition in my quads this week, kind of coming through to the end. So the only thing that was a little off this week, I guess, was my carb to fat ratio from day to day. I wasn't compliant on a daily basis to my carbs and fat. So you can see here some days I was quite low in carbohydrate. Like Thursday and Friday, I only had 90 grams of carbohydrate. But I had much higher protein, and that's just because that's my go-to food. I find that if I do get to the end of the day, usually I'm getting pretty close to hitting my protein target, you know, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So usually when I go to have my dinner, I've still got carbohydrates left and I've still got fats left, but I still want to have a protein source at dinner. So that usually takes me over my target, which is, you know, making up calories nonetheless, but it's not that set ratio. So that's probably the only thing that's kind of been happening a little bit more this week. My compliance overall was 99% to my calories, which is great. And I was on average a little bit high on my protein, but insignificant amounts. So kind of explains why I did see some visual progress in the mirror. My weekly average weight is still up if we have a look at this, and it's kind of scary, to be honest. But I'll sort it out. We'll get there. Definitely the kind of person that'll make it happen if it has to happen. So here, if you look on the screen, here's this week's average weekly weigh-in. So it's a significant drop from the past week, but still my projected target rate of loss was meant to see me at 62 kilos this week, and I'm 65, which is a little worrying. So it's kind of meaning that now between weeks 5 and my peak week, which will begin on the 2nd, so Monday the 2nd of December, I have to lose about 1.1 kilos every week. But again, that's, forecasting that 59.5, and with the increase in weight because of our water weight due to creatine supplementation, it might be that I'm 61, just based on how much my weight went up, in those initial few weeks after starting to take it. So hopefully my conditioning still is better than Worlds. That is certainly my expectation. I'm busting ass in the gym. I'm really putting in the work. It's just been a bit of a mental head case. So, I'm definitely not excluded from that. And I think a lot of people would really struggle in this situation. So I'm just letting you know that if you are in a similar position where you've started taking creatine, it's a normal thing, but try not to let the scale number mess with you. Just focus on the things that you are in control of, like how hard you train, how consistently you are with that, the effort that you're putting in, and of course your diet, and things will come together. So I am a little bit behind the mark at the moment. So this week, as I mentioned, we are taking my carbs down to 100 and to 30. And again, I'll just quickly pull this up. Looking at my rate of loss, if I'm trying to lose, I actually have to lose more than this. And so this rate of loss, 852 calorie deficit, it would be achieved for 0.7 kilograms weight loss. I'm trying to lose a kilo a week. So really that deficit should be greater. And my targets, what have I set them at? Where am I? Yeah, my target's 1270. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more activity as well this week. Just to make sure that I am dropping at the rate that I need to. So for training this week, I will be still doing my 6 resistance training sessions. I'm going to take my daily step count up to 10,000. Again, it was previously sitting around 7,000 because that was what was manageable for me, but now I'm going to have to do a bit more planned walking. So it's not really neat. It's planned activity. So I'll take my step count to 10,000. Hopefully that will get me a little bit of an extra burn per day. And I will be doing 3 40 minutes on the Stairmaster. So that is contest prep. Anyways, I'm kind of looking forward to this week. Lane's away. I have no distractions. I can really just knuckle down, get my training done, and then I'm flying to Dallas on Sunday to go and catch up with a girlfriend for a full week of what will be an awesome week of training. So I've got that to look forward to next week. So I'll be updating you guys from Dallas next week. I might even get my friend to jump in the video with me. We can talk about our week of training. So wish me luck. I've got to lose a kilo this week. We'll see how I do. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for next week.